And Ari Berman, who is a product of our schools and is a remarkable young woman, is here this morning to tell us about Israel Aid so that we'll be a little bit better informed about what our people and our nation does for the world. Ari?
Shabbat Shalom. In the little Caribbean island of Dominica, hurricanes used to be something to rejoice at. As one Dominican told me, she used to run outside in the rain with an umbrella, using the winds to lift herself up in the air. She recalled that for storms or even small Category 1 hurricanes, she would watch movies at home until the power cut out. That all changed after Hurricane Maria. Maria was a Category 5 hurricane that devastated the Caribbean in September 2017. In Dominica, over 90% of buildings sustained damage, and almost half the population fled the island. Israel, an aid organization headquartered in Tel Aviv, was on the ground in Dominica within a month of the hurricane to provide life-saving aid. In summer 2018, I was sent to Dominica as a part of Israel's humanitarian aid fellowship. This fellowship funds college students to conduct aid work for Israel's projects all across the world. But wait, why was I being sent to Dominica nearly a year after the hurricane? While I was there, the answer came to me with the threat of a Category 1 hurricane, Hurricane Beryl. My office suspended operations to prepare for the storm. As I walked around Ruzo, the capital, the day before Beryl, there was a frantic energy humming about. Cars honked at pedestrians, canned food was running low, colorful doors were boarded up, and there was almost a tangible fear in the air. In a disaster training focus group, a child shared with me that his family prepared for Beryl as if it was a Category 5 hurricane. It was as if the entire country was carrying this immense trauma, jumping at the slightest storm warning. Israel Aid stayed long after Maria, not only to build roofs, but also to heal the psychological toll of Maria. But Dominica is only one piece of the puzzle. We are currently in the midst of the world's worst set of humanitarian crises. From Syria to Yemen to Puerto Rico, the number of people who have seen their lives torn away and who have been forced to leave their homes keeps on growing and growing and growing. But some places, like Dominica, can be overlooked in this swath of disasters. And yet, among disasters and wars, there is one organization that is quietly leading a revolution in how humanitarian aid happens. One organization who is first on the ground and the last to leave, staying longer than all other NGOs to ensure that they are leaving the site better off physically, socially, and psychologically than when they found it. They are the organization that goes to Puerto Rico and Dominica after hurricanes, to Japan after tsunamis, and Greece after a huge influx of Syrian refugees. That organization is Israel Aid. I do not throw out the term revolution lightly. As someone who has researched the history of humanitarian aid, I can tell you that the future of aid is about resilience, and it is about empowering those who have had everything taken away from them. As I worked as a humanitarian fellow in Dominica, I got to witness Israel Aid doing exactly that. In Dominica, I watched Israel Aid train all school children to identify and mitigate hazards in their community. I saw the children who participated in this program channel their trauma into educating their peers. And yet, Israel Aid goes one step farther. Israel Aid not only empowers children, but also trains teachers on the island to be the ones educating these children on disaster preparedness. In essence, Israel Aid is creating a network of change makers to help Dominica become a resilient nation that is prepared for future disasters. Beyond Dominica, Israel Aid works alongside disaster-affected populations to build a mostly local response team. For example, in the Kenyan refugee camp Dadaab, most of IsraAid's team is composed of refugees. IsraAid's local integration allows those who have had everything taken away from them to define their own success and build their own resilience. IsraAid's philosophy is a familiar one. Give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. IsraAid does both, and will not stop its work until all goals are accomplished. A revolution is happening, and you can be a part of it. I encourage you to go on IsraAid's website, israaid.co.il, volunteer, or apply to the Humanitarian Fellowship. See it for yourself. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.